Hey guys, I guess you guys can always tell when I'm not trying to go stealth when I got this freaking huge bright light in my face. I don't know what part of the camera to look at. Look at this part. Look at that part. It's probably that part, but I kind of like looking in the middle of the screen so I feel like I'm talking to somebody and not just the camera. So anyway, before this gets too awkward and everyone just starts staring at me. So right now I'm actually just sitting outside my gym, waiting for a little bit to go in. So yeah, if you guys hear my fan, I kind of just have that going because it's pretty humid and hot today. So I wanted to talk about my very first time trying to sleep in a vehicle. And I got this idea because one of my new YouTube subscriber, she tried to sleep in her vehicle. I'm not gonna mention her by name because I'm not sure if she wants that or not. So it got me thinking, because I know I slept in my truck that I turned into a camper, but I also remembered I had a failed attempt trying to sleep in my truck. So I want to talk about that. So my first time ever, when I first built out my camper and everything, it wasn't this truck, this van. It was actually a real small truck. If you guys are familiar with a Chevy S10, it's a real small truck. It has like a 6 foot by 4 foot bed. And I had built that out. I have early videos of my truck build when it wasn't like I didn't actually videotape it or anything, but I had pictures here and there, and it kind of showed how it was laid out. Like, it was literally just enough room for me to do this and like lay down. To be honest, it was comfortable, and if my truck was reliable, I believe I could have did it, but that truck wasn't reliable and the engine actually went out in it pretty much. So I had, after I got done building it out and everything, I didn't have my blankets and my sleeping bag in there. I believe I had to still buy a sleeping bag, but I wanted to see how hot or how cold I was gonna get in the back of that truck. I had it all insulated and everything. Had the windows insulated, had the floor insulated, had the ceiling insulated. Everything was insulated. Looking back on it, I could have built it out. I could have built it out a little bit better. The way I had it laid out, I had like batteries on this side of the wall, and then my bed was like on the what was it? The left side of the camper, and then like I had storage clothes and stuff on this side, and I didn't have a microwave. I still had a TV and stuff. It was a flip down TV from the ceiling. You can actually buy 12-volt TVs that are flat screens, and that was actually pretty fun because no matter what I'm in, I still want to have some type of form of entertainment, so I was still able to watch TV and stuff. It's just creature habits. So after I got done building it out, all I had in there was like this I went and bought some carpet to like lay over a lot of the insulation and stuff, and it like covered the entire floor. And then I think I had one cover in there. I can't remember, but I think I had one cover in there. And this was back during the winter time. It was snow on the ground and everything. So one day after work, I was like, I'm gonna go try to sleep in my my truck. So and this was like, I was in the parking lot of my complex and everything. So I felt pretty safe. I just wanted to try it out there before I actually went out into the real world, and just to see if I could do it, like, because I was skeptical and I'm like, this is weird, I've never done anything like this before. What's gonna happen? It's cold outside. Am I gonna be able to do this? Like literally, am I gonna be able to do this? Like, that was something my friends were asking me. Like, dude, this is Michigan. We get freaking below zero temperatures here. Like, what are you gonna do? And I'm like, they were scaring me because I'm like, I mean, if it gets cold enough, I mean, I'm not crazy. I know to get up and like go get a hotel or something if it gets that cold. I got the freaking bugs flying in here now. God damn it. Okay, let me roll my windows up. Come on, go up, 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 go up. Ah, crap, stupid bugs. Alright, so yeah, they were scaring me. Like, dude, what are you gonna do if it like gets really cold? I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I think I'll be warm in there. So anyway, got off work one day and parked my truck in another spot of my complex, and I crawled in the back of it. And after I did that, I kind of just like laid there on the phone and stuff a little bit, but really just kind of like bundled up a little bit to just try to keep warm. And I think I stayed in there. Like, actually, I think I did this a couple of times actually. The longest I had stayed in there was like 5 hours, and I was like, okay, I can't stay in here any longer. It's too cold. It's too cold in here. And at first I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. This isn't bad. I mean, it's cold, but it's not unbearable. I mean, I can deal with this cold. Because right now I don't have blankets like covering me completely and stuff. So once I get a sleeping bag in here, it'll be better. But you know, like when you're doing this for the first time, your mind's just running crazy and you're like just like on edge and like, this is crazy. Like, this is crazy. So that was what I was thinking the whole time, is like, this crazy. I can't believe I'm about to do this. Like, I can't believe I'm about to live in my truck. Like, oh my God. And then like at that moment, I'm like, oh, this is a big mistake. I can't believe I'm doing this. I did this way too fast. Oh my God, my lease is coming to an end because I asked them would they like cut it off early, and they were nice enough to do so. Where am I gonna live? This isn't gonna work. It's too cold. So once I got back in the house, that was like what was going through my head, is like, how am I gonna do this? This is ridiculous. I can't believe people actually do this. I mean, it was fun to look at on YouTube and see people doing it and wanting to do it, but then when I actually got in that situation, I'm like, holy cow, this is like really cold. What am I gonna do? So I end up is my key all the way off? Sorry about that. So I end up just like kind of watching more YouTube videos, how to stay warm in the winter. There were a few, but there weren't many for my application, living in a truck camper. So I mean, basically I looked up camping videos, just raw camping videos. And there were people camping in the snow, getting sleeping bags, putting protective waterproof layers down on the snow, and sleeping in the snow. And I'm like, if these people can sleep in the snow, I can sleep in my truck. So I just went to Walmart, got a sleeping bag, and put more blankets in there. And I just the next day, I think I went out there and I actually got in a sleeping bag and put a blanket over me, and it was actually really warm. I was actually really shocked, and I'm like, okay, this is doable. Let me go get a buddy heater though, because I hear those are like really big. So I went and got a buddy heater, and I cracked the window in the cab of it, and I ran that. And at the time I thought I had to run a buddy heater like all night to stay warm. and stuff, but you don't. You just need to run a heater just good enough to get yourself comfortable until you're ready to go to sleep, and then cut it off, because you can save a lot of propane by like that. Like, I only use those 1 pound propane bottles. I thought I needed to buy a 20-pound propane bottle or tank, but that wasn't true. I was going through 1 propane bottle in my van maybe every 2 weeks, maybe, because I didn't have to run it that much. Once you get out of your comfort zone and realize you don't need as much as you think you need, as much as you have used, then your body starts to react a little bit differently, and it starts to get used to this type of stuff. Like, I got used to just wearing sweaters, and I'm usually a t-shirt guy, and I got used to wearing sweaters. It was like I was going to bed in sweaters, and it got to the point where I didn't even know I was going to bed in sweaters. I felt like I was just going to bed like normal. But that was just things I got used to, and I was comfortable with it. I spent most of all the winter in my van, and I didn't have a problem. Like, I really like the winter more than I like the summer, and that's like not normal when you're in a house. Really, I would say it wasn't normal for me. I wasn't a winter person. I was more, oh, I can't wait for the summer. I still am, but it's more now. I like the winter because it's more comfortable living. You can keep warm better than like staying cool, because it costs a lot less to keep your body warm and stuff than trying to run air conditioners and fans and having your windows cracked, because then people are messing with you and stuff. Like, I've been getting messed with all summer for basically drawing attention to myself by having my windows cracked and everything. So I just really like the winter. And so after I actually went through that ordeal of me like thinking I wasn't gonna be able to sleep in my truck, and then buying more stuff and getting through it, and like I actually staying in my truck longer after I got my sleeping bag and everything, I'm like, okay, this is doable. So I wasn't actually ready to stay in my truck. I was actually forced into it one night, and I was totally not expecting it. I was going to get that trailer that I told you guys I sold. I was going to go get it, and I had to get on the freeway and go drive to it or whatever, go get it. And pretty funny story about that. This video is going to be a little long, so I'm sorry. I'm going to try to make it fast. So anyway, luckily I had the back of the truck all built out and stuff. And on my way to go get this trailer, my truck breaks down. Like, it literally blew a wheel bearing, and I was shocked because I had just replaced those wheel bearings like 3 months before. Something I didn't know, because I'm kind of a do-it-myselfer, but a lot of stuff I do myself, it's most of the time for the first time, but I have a little bit of know-how when it comes to mechanics. I'm a little bit mechanically inclined, so when I start looking at something, I kind of figure out how it comes apart and figure out how to fix it, figure out what's wrong and what has went bad in it. So this was my first time putting bearings in the rotors, and I did not know when you buy rotors, I don't know if this is for all rotors, that the race inside the rotor actually comes inside the rotor. It's kind of stupid because you have to buy the bearings separate, and the bearings also come with a race. So I thought I was supposed to put that race inside the rotor, but it already had a race, so I had 2 races inside my rotors. It was something I learned from, and I won't make that mistake again. So I look at everything as a learning experience, even though it costs you money. It costs you money if you go to school, so it's gonna cost me a lot less because I don't have crazy amount of student loans and stuff, and I'm learning for myself, and I actually really like it, to be honest, because it just gives me more and more knowledge every time I put my hands on something, every time I try to fix something. I love it. And I'm actually really willing to learn about anything for the most part. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. So I end up breaking down. I tried to drive. I looked up the closest AutoZone, and it was 1 mile away. 1 mile. So I'm like, okay, maybe I can just hobble it to the AutoZone, and I'll just sleep at the AutoZone. Skip it. My truck's already made out for a camper. I'll just sleep at the AutoZone. So I start trying to get there, and like with every street I pass, it's getting worse and worse and worse. And the reason I didn't keep on going is because I wasn't worried about damaging the rotor, because I had already knew that I was probably just going to get a new rotor anyway. The reason I didn't keep going is because I didn't want to damage the shaft that the rotor and bearings have to go on, because if you damage that shaft, then you're going to be out some money, because it costs, I don't know exactly how much it costs, but I'm pretty sure it's not that cheap, and it's going to be a pretty long job. I'm thinking a couple of hours at least. So after like I heard bearings fall out and I can hear the bearings squeak, I'm like, oh my god, I'm not gonna be able to make it. So I had to call a tow truck, and it cost me, I think, $80 to have it towed, literally not even a mile. And they were like, okay, are you gonna call someone? I was like, no, I'm gonna sleep up here. I have my truck built out like a camper. I'll just wait till AutoZone open in the morning. So the guy was really nice. Like, I run into some really nice people. I'm like so grateful. The guy was like, well, hey, I'm sorry I have to charge you so much, but like it's literally because it's so late at night, and like any tow service would have charged you that amount. And like he was like $5 cheaper than the other two tow services I called. They were like trying to charge me $90, and one guy said $100 because of the nature of the situation, and they would have to they only had like a flatbed, and to put my truck on a flatbed they would have had to use an extra tool to put under the wheel so they didn't damage it. And I was like, okay, whatever. But anyway, he was like, dude, here's my personal number. Call me if you need to use any tools in the morning or anything. Just call me and I'll bring over some tools for you to use. I don't mind. I was like, oh, that's really nice. I'll definitely call you if I need that. And not every time when someone offers their services I take it, because that day I did have to actually buy some tools from AutoZone to fix the problem. Sorry about that. So I end up luckily I knew the neighborhood kinda, and I was right across the street from a 24-hour store, so I kinda had it all figured out. a little bit. So I went in and I kind of looked at the store to see, okay, they have food and stuff. If I need some food, I get hungry, I can come over here. All right, they have a bathroom. Okay, they're open 24/7. Okay, good. So this was like everything I was like looking at and trying to figure out what I was gonna do if I had to get up for an emergency or anything. And that first night I actually slept in the van out in the open. It was like crazy because I slept like really close to the freeway, like really close. Like it was like, I don't know, maybe 50 feet from the freeway, and you can hear all the semis whizzing by and all the like messed up cars with their mufflers coming by, and it was kind of hard to sleep, but I ended up sleeping. And woke up that morning, I was like, I can't believe I did it. And I was like there before the AutoZone people was, and I was like waiting for them to open, and I was already like, I don't know, like in a disarray because I didn't get to brush my teeth that morning. I didn't like go to the store across the street and buy toothbrush and toothpaste. So I didn't even like wash my face that morning. I was just like, oh my god, I just want to like get this fixed because this is crazy. I was not expecting this. This is kind of like, I don't know, it was really nerve-wracking for a little bit, and then like I got it all sorted out, all fixed and stuff. One thing before I go, sorry it's so long. Someone asked me, what would you do if your van broke down today and it took a little bit of time to get it fixed? I would go rent a hotel room. You keep a little bit of money in case of things like that. So if worst case scenario your van breaks down, you go get a hotel room. That's just what I think. It's going to be expensive. Like if you actually had to stay there for a month, you're going to come out a lot of money, because I believe they're like $23 a night or something. So you're going to be coming out hundreds of dollars, but you won't be on the street. In my case, I would have my van towed somewhere, and then I would work on it where it has been towed to, and then probably sleep in it. I don't know, but if I needed to take it to the shop or something, I'll just go rent a hotel room for the night. So that's what I would do. Alright guys, I just want to let you guys know my story and what happened when I first tried to sleep in my van. I mean when I first tried to sleep in my camper, I forgot I actually also chickened out. So don't be afraid to fail. Just when you fail, get back on the bike and keep on paddling.